All right, guys. All right. Welcome to Fly Like an Eagle podcast. I'm here with my guys, James Scorza and Joe Marks from the Passion App Sports Show. How you guys doing, man?
Doing good, man. Doing really good. Most importantly, obviously, there's a lot of things to talk about here today. So obviously, it was a obvious. I mean, the thing that we could talk about is that maybe if this was a Flyers podcast, it would be probably more of the airing of the grievances of Sergei Bobrovsky. But we got a jam-packed show. But the good thing about it too is that we got some birds to talk about here today. Hopefully, all is well with you guys too.
All good. Joe?
I feel like I'm about to walk down to the wrestling ring with that intro, Mitch. I'm ready. I'm
Yeah, I was
feeling
sick,
it.
man.
In the immortal words of Brian Dawkins, can you feel that?
Yeah. So,
Yeah, that was
it
pretty
was
cool.
just
It kind of
from,
reminded me of Two Steps from Hell a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's actually from the YouTube studio. You can go on there, and there's copyright-free music. There's like a whole bunch. And then you can just click whichever one you want. So it's like different styles, different all that stuff. What is up, Nick, Wesley? Welcome everyone. Yeah, my guy Nick. We were shooting hoops the other day, and he loves the show. So appreciate that, Nick.
Appreciate it, Nick. Appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, let's get right into it. The Eagles are rumored to get Asante Samuel Jr. to the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's start off with Joe here. How do you feel about that? Because last week we talked about Jair Alexander, who now is on the Baltimore Ravens. So how do you feel about Asante Samuel Jr.?
Much better. I wanted to draft Asante Samuel Jr. A couple of years ago when he came out. We had his dad. His dad was a lockdown corner. He was sometimes a gambling corner. Like, he would jump the routes, and sometimes he would guess right, and sometimes he would guess wrong. But I think Asante Samuel Jr. is a better pickup than Jair Alexander, believe it or not. I honestly think the pedigree of what Samuel Jr. can bring to the table it's more malleable in the Vic Fangio system, especially with the man-to-man coverage and the two eye safeties.
All right, James.
Yeah, it'll be a good upgrade. It'll be a very good upgrade with Quinion Mitchell and Cooper DeJean and also Q. I mean, maybe this. I mean, I like it. I like it a lot better than Jair Alexander. Gonna admit. The thing that sticks out to me is that maybe what they do now is that maybe they're not for certain on Keely Ringo. I don't know if they're. I mean, I'm not entirely sure about that, but overall. Look, if you get Asante Samuel Jr., we got Trot Jr., now we can get Asante Samuel Jr., maybe you can, mix and match with that same kind of philosophy. So, overall, I mean, yeah, if the price is right there, guys, I think you could probably get him.
Yeah. So for me, I am good for it because it's all about the story. Same thing with Jeremiah Trotter Jr. So we actually get a little bit of our dads play together. Now let's our sons play together.
Like father, like son,
right? It's a nice story. And we actually have a question from William here. What are they doing at safety?
Ooh.
What are they going to do at safety? So James, I'm going to forward this one to you, man.
Maybe I don't. Maybe this will seem a little far fetched here, but maybe put Asante Samuel at safety. Maybe you could probably put him as maybe move Cooper DeJean maybe. So I guess that will be something to keep a close eye on. But like I said, I mean, what they do with safety, Sidney Brown. I mean, they're still. I guess they're still straddling the fence to what they have in store with him. Andrew Makuba, I mean, that's another good possibility. So yeah, I mean, you got depth there that you can do at that safety position here. So I mean, I wouldn't be worried about it right now. But if it comes down to it, I guess the thing that the Eagles should do is probably should make that as a priority coming into training camp in the next month.
Joe, how about you? What should we do at safety?
Yeah, I'm with James in this, is that especially if you bring in Asante Samuel Jr., you can either convert him to a safety or you can put him in the slot and put Coop out at safety because Coop is malleable as a safety. He can be moved back there. He has played that position before.
Yep.
But I ultimately think it's going to be a position that's won either by Nakuba or Sidney Brown. Like I
Hmm.
honestly think that I do not believe that they're going to are going to go out of their way to find a free agent safety at this point in time. I know that Isaiah Simmons has been talked about out there. That'd be an interesting prospect, but I'm not. If they were going to do that, I don't know why they haven't done it yet.
Hmm.
Like that's the question. I mean, it's not money. It's not roster flexibility. I don't know.
Right.
So there has to be another reason to it. And so for me, you're going to see on this defense and on this Eagles team youth kind of shining through. And you're not going to know a lot of these names right away. But, I look at it like Jalix Hunt. We didn't know who Jalix Hunt was until last season,
That's
or
true.
especially until the end of last season. So Nakubo might surprise us.
Hmm.
Sidney Brown might surprise us. I mean, these guys are going under the wing of one of the best safeties, not to just play for the Philadelphia Eagles, but that has ever played the game, period. He's a Hall of Famer. So
Yep.
this guy's going to help. Brian Dawkins is going to help whoever takes that safety role on as our starter coming in this upcoming season. He's going to get them ready.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, and to piggyback what you said about that too is that that's a very good point by you, Joe. Because you think about the Eagles in the last couple of years or so, the big priority was how can we make the secondary better, and that's going to be the most important key coming into training camp, like I brought up in my first segment here. The thing that I like about it too is that, yeah, sure, you got all the step pieces and you got all these mixes and matches and all that, and that's what makes it even better for the Eagles too. Is that there's like no such thing as a need on this team, because there are no needs on this team. They got everything they need to know come, and also, yeah, you got your up and down. I mean, sure. I mean, Sidney Brown could be a good fit. Maybe Andrew Makuba could be a good fit. Maybe Keely Ringo could be a good fit. Maybe like I even brought up, Asante Samuel Jr. could be a very good fit here. But that's where training camp comes in, and that's where you have to show what you're made of. And I think the most important key is that if the Eagles do a very well with that secondary, I mean, whatever Vic Fangio would do, I let him. He has the keys to the Escalade, so he can just do whatever he wants with it.
So before I give my answer to the question, let's go to the chat real quick. Joe Scorcher goes, I'd be good with Samuel Jr. if they feel the need. Jair can't stay healthy.
That's
He
true.
also goes, I want to see Kelly Ringo, though, on the other side. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
the biggest fan of Kelly Ringo. I am not. With the Dory Jackson there, that to me,
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
like
I
I
forgot about
think
Dory
he's going to
Jackson.
be in the more of the depth spot. But if
Mm-hmm.
they want to start him, I'm okay with that as well. A lot of people forget that we even got him from the Giants.
Mm.
Thank you, Giants, and thank you, Scott, for that. Thank you, Scott. And June Makuba will be the starting safety week 1. And then William goes Justin Simmons. And he also goes, does Blankenship get paid before training camp or next season?
Hmm.
Like, I think he's going to get paid probably next season. There's still some guys, like Jalen Carter is involved in that list and so on and so forth. So,
Yep.
no, does Blankenship get paid before the training camp or next season?
No,
I,
but
I don't think he does either.
Blankenship is not priority one right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's making sure Jalen Carter is locked up and sealed for a while. And
Mm-hmm.
you also have to kind of keep in mind something else is that within Jalen Carter and that contract, you're going to have to think about some of these youthful resurgence that we are taking pleasure in now with N'Kobe Dean, Nolan Smith, Jordan Davis. Those guys, their contracts are going to come up around the same time. You got to learn, you got to figure out how are we going to still hold on to this great of an offense and be able to pay these guys on defense.
Yeah.
So that's what I think. Like when we talk about Asante Samuel Jr. and we talk about some of the youth that could come in, the youth movement in this defense. There's a reason for that because I think Howie Roseman realizes that he's not going to be able to re-sign all these young guys. So he needs to have a good rotation to bring up guys that he can afford to pay. He can have some flexibility with the cap. So no, I think Blankenship is a guy that you wait until you get all your other ducks in a row before you go and you negotiate with him.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So for me, I am a big fan of Reed Blankenship because he always comes up in the big time moments with the splash. What is the word I'm thinking of? Clutch moments. There we go.
Clutch moments. Yeah.
Yeah. So he is definitely on the list, but I'm with Joe here. He is not the number one. That is Jalen Carter by far. So yeah, and Joe Scorcher also goes. I trust Vic Fangio to find the right personnel to make this a great defense again. I do too.
I agree.
I do too. How can you not?
Yeah, I still feel like this is going to be a top 5 defense again this year. I think we lost a lot, but again, I go back to my previous point: is the idea that this youth movement isn't a bunch of guys from like Troy and Tulane and like Fordham and stuff like that. These guys are from like the SEC and Big Ten and whatnot. Like these are big time players ready for big time moments. And I'm with you kind of, Mitch, in the sense of Keely Ringo. But yeah. I'm rooting for the guy because I honestly think he was overlooked in the draft. I think he was overlooked his rookie season. And I think when he got a chance, he needs to clean up his play and not create as many penalties. But, dude, he's a big body corner. You can always you can't coach size. You just can. I mean, you can always coach up skill sets, but you can't coach size. You can't coach up size and you can't coach up speed.
Yeah. And, the thing about it, too, is that I was just going to bring up here, like my dad brought up with Joey's, Joey's plan of Howie Roseman basically making that core defense the way it is. I mean, you think about Howie Roseman, say 5, maybe 6 years ago, and probably getting some guy from the from the Pac-12, like a J.J. Arcega-Whiteside or like a Jalen Reagor. And I think he learned from that after he got Devontae Smith in 2021. And I think after that, he was saying, wow, these guys are actually, they're on our, they're for the taking. We should take advantage of it now before somebody gets them. And then the next year, right after he got Devontae Smith, he got the Georgia Bulldog National Championship guys, like the Keely Ringos, the Nakobe Deans, the Jordan Davises. But I know for sure that will be the big X factor in come training camp, what it'll look like with Jordan Davis's sake, though. But overall, I mean, I'm glad to see that Howie Roseman's finally putting his foot down and say, okay, these players are here on our lap. We should take advantage of it now before somebody gets them. That's my whole point, actually.
And actually, my guy, Nicky Stees, who's also a part of Hardcore Sports Network, you guys should check him out every Monday morning at 10 a.m. for the 3-point blitz.
Nice.
And he goes, I take Samuel Jr. over Ramsey. I think we're all on the same page here. I think we're all on the same page.
Not even a question. Not even a question. I mean, that's like, I'm a done deal on Asante over Jalen Ramsey because I feel like Jalen Ramsey's cooked.
But let me say about this. We talked about it last week too about the whole top top 20 list of who the best corners are, and Jalen Ramsey's still on that list as the top 15 corner. It's like, dude, that's ludicrous. That's just ludicrous, man. Because he was great with the Rams. He was good with the Jags. But that was 5-6 years ago. He hasn't been healthy ever since.
Yeah, and I'm going to go about saying this way. So with this upcoming draft, I believe we have 13 or 14 picks in the draft, which is crazy. My feeling is this. With Howie, you guys are going to start to see, he's been, the last 2 drafts, he's been heavy, 2 or 3 drafts, he's been heavy with the defense. You're going to start to see within the next year or two that's going to switch a little bit more to the offense because guys like A.J. Brown, guys like Devontae Smith, who are going to get older, Saquon Barkley, these big ticket items, those big ticket players aren't going to necessarily be on the offense in 2 or 3 years. They're going to be on the defense because you're going to end up paying guys like Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, maybe N'Kobe Dean, maybe Quinyon Mitchell, definitely Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, people
Oh,
like
me?
that.
Thank you.
Yes. So like
I had to do that.
That's the part of this is that salary is going to shift from the offense to the defense. So you have to figure out how do we replace talent from AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. Well, they're going to do it through the draft, just like they built up the defense. They're going to do that with the offense. This is how that Howie Roseman's going to make this seesaw effect of balancing the salaries, but still bringing in a quality, talented roster. And you gotta love the way that Howie can do this. And it's not as though, this isn't the Major League Baseball. This isn't like where owners have X amount of money because they're only worth X amount of money. Right. And so the rich owners can get like a guy like Juan Soto and Ohtani and Bryce Harper and whatnot.
Yep.
But in the NFL, everyone's got the same salary cap. Everyone's got the same amount of money. The difference is what the owners and what the general managers do about it and how they manage it. And Howie Roseman, from my personal take, has created a masterclass of what it's like to be a general manager in the NFL today.
Mm-hmm. I think he's probably one of the best to ever do it in football, honestly. Because I think of Art Rooney. I think of like maybe the old days, like when general managers were like not a big thing. But Howie Roseman, I gotta tell you right now, I think when he finally got that role back in 2016, after Chip Kelly got fired, and after that big trade that he made, getting rid of Sam Bradford and Byron Maxwell and DeMarco Murray and et cetera, I said to myself is that this could actually, like, if you get rid of those players that Chip Kelly tried to torment the team the problem is, too, with, obviously, like I brought up before, he had his fair share of obstacles along the way. He had the Danny Watkinses of the world, and everybody still hits him and tries to hit him in the back of the head with that all the time. But overall, the thing about that I want to say is that I'm actually considering the fact that Howie Roseman's probably one of the best GMs to ever be a part of the NFL. I think if he's not in Hall of Fame in like 10 or 20 years from now, then, I mean, something must be wrong here. Because, I mean, I've seen, like, Ed Snyder with the Flyers make Flyers hockey relevant, not to the extent back with the Bobrovsky thing, but let's not get crazy here. But overall, I mean, there was like a Pat Croce of the world. There was even like Ed Wade, and even more like the other guy that got the Phillies, Pat Gillick from the Phillies that got us a World Series. Like, they were successful, but the way Howie has been more and more successful in the last 20 years or so, it's been pretty damn amazing to think about.
And really quick, we have another question from William. James, would you like to read this one out?
Sure. So he asks us about how do you guys feel about the edge room? So I guess the edge rushers and stuff.
Yeah. Joe, would you like to go first on that?
Yeah, I feel really good about it. But, there's a lot of depth. There's a lot of young talent. There's a lot of hungry talent there. Yeah. A lot of guys that want to prove their mettle in this defense, in this team. And look, I don't care who it is, whether it's Jalen Hunt, Nolan Smith, I don't care who it is. You put that guy that stands next to Jalen Carter, he looks over and goes, You're on my side? Like, I'm gonna get to the quarterback, aren't I? And Jalen Carter's like, yeah, you are, so you better be ready. Like, That's the difference, is that when you have a guy like Jalen Carter, much like Aaron Donald did for a lot of his teammates, you're going to have guys on the edge run free. When you have guys like Nolan Smith and, Ozzy, I'm going to butcher his name.
Ojulari?
Ojulari, yeah. Ozzy's Ojulari.
You are.
Yes. Easy for me to say. When you have those guys that are on that in that edge room that have speed and athleticism and bend and everything. Bringing Jalix Hunt into the fold more and more. It's going to be fun to watch these guys take the next step.
Yeah.
Correct.
And the thing about it too is that I mean, you know how much of a play-by-play / color commentary Giannato is, but I was watching something a couple of days ago. It was probably the 2002 Philadelphia Eagles, and Mike Quick was reading out a script called "The Matt Blatt Dealership Splatted the Game." That's going to be more of the same here this year. There's going to be a lot of players that are going to be getting to the quarterback and just like splatting him down, like a Nolan Smith will do something like that. Jalen Carter's going to be doing that a lot too. So overall, I mean. Yeah, man, I'm really excited about this team. I'm really excited about these edge rushers. I think they're very, very. I think they're going to make a big step again this year. I think for sure. Jalen Carter, I think, is one step from being just Aaron Donald territory because he's just. Because I mean, I know it's early on in his illustrious career and he's got a long ways to go. But he's shown me a lot the last 2 years that I said to myself that it kind of feels like that I have a little bit of that 91 defensive line with Jerome Brown and Reggie White a little bit. But overall, I think the thing that really makes me more joyous is that even though Aaron Donald used to be a pain in the ass all these times in the NFL, we got one of them now and probably in the same kind of aficionado as an Aaron Donald. And I think he's probably one player that could be one step from being great here this year.
Yeah. So really quick, let's reply to this comment from Joe Scorza, and then we'll go into our next topic. So, Howie stopped trying to be the quote-unquote smartest guy in the room with personnel.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Thank God he finally realized, like, look, I need to put together a team. Stop trying to find these, like, down in the rough guys to try to build them up. No.
The Joe Schmo guys, no pun intended.
Yeah. I like Joe Schmo.
He wanted to take a guy like Jalen Reagor and J.J. Arcega-Whiteside and be like this. Look, see what I did? I took this guy out of irrelevance and I made him relevant. And what you took was a bum and put him on a team and he was still a bum. Mm-hmm. That's the difference. Is like if a player is bad, he's bad.
Yeah,
you're good.
The one thing I remember when we had the COVID year, and I think when Justin Jefferson, and I was saying to myself, like, oh my God, they're going to get him. It's like a kid in a candy store. You can't help it. And then then Howie Roseman drafts Jalen Reagor. I'm thinking, like, no, what are you doing? What are you doing, man?
Well, here's 2 examples of him actually working. Those picks actually working to turn them into nothing. From nothing to somebody. Jordan Mailata.
Right.
That's the first one that I think of when you go, look, I found a guy. He played rugby for crying out loud.
Right.
Let's see what we can do. Now he's one of the best in the offensive line in the NFL. And then second, Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts was another one because think about it, right? We had Carson Wentz coming off of a great year. And then it's just like you're getting a quarterback who can't really throw the ball and all this stuff, but now look at him now. So those are the 2 examples that I can think of.
And then he got
what
hurt.
Is up, Sixers fan? What is up, man?
And then he got hurt, and he was soft as Sherman tissue. Now no team other than backup quarterback is going to be his position for the rest of his career. But
I think he retired. I don't think he's in the NFL anymore. But that was only a matter of time.
Carson Wentz retired.
I think so.
No. Wasn't he on the Chiefs? No, he was on the Kansas City Chiefs. He was the backup quarterback.
Oh, okay. No. I could have swore. I thought he retired and went back to his own alma mater at North Dakota State to become a coach or something. I thought I heard that right. I don't know.
Good for him. Stay in the small pond.
Hunting ducks.
Yeah.
Ducks
But I mean, this is the thing: is with Jordan Mailata. As much as I want to give that credit to Howie, that was a Statland draft pick. That was Jeff Statland. Yeah. Jeff Statland basically told Howie, "We're taking this guy," and he goes, "But he's never played football. Don't worry about that. I can fix that. Don't worry about that. Just draft him and leave him up to me." And I mean. isn't it amazing that you could take a guy like Jordan Mailata and mold him into something as great as he is now? Because it just makes me think, I'm like, this guy never put football pads on. This guy never even put hands on another dude in a professional football or semi-professional football way. Yes, he was a professional rugby player, and yes, there are similarities, but there's a lot of drastic differences too. And so Jordan Mailata, yeah, I would agree with you, Mitch. That one has been the how as much as it was a Jeff Statland possible pick, that was one where Howie's like, look what I did, look what I did, look what I did.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So really quick before we go into the next topic, we got a couple new people in the chat here. Eagles Girl saying hello, champs. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Anthony's coming in and saying hi, and Joe Scorza comes in again. He was part of the international program too. That is perfect. Yeah.
You know, I should tell you a long story short about Mailata. I actually met Jordan Mailata a couple years back at Dolan's at one of the EOP benefits, and I took a picture with him with my mom. And I'll tell you right now, he makes me look tiny. And I'm like 6'2", 6'3". I see this like tall ass dude. I'm thinking like, damn, he could be like a bouncer at a club somewhere.
It's like leaning on the top of your head, like,
yeah,
can I put my beer here?
Yeah. I look like Darren Sproles compared to him, or my mom rather. Why? So, I shit you not, dude. I look tiny, man.
So, James, would you like to read this comment from Anthony real quick?
Sure. It says, SPS, are they any young guys at DB that might have to trade because of this signing up with Asante Samuel Jr.? That's a good question, Anthony.
Joe, you want to take that one?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Joe, you want to take that one, bud?
Whatever happened.
So what is the question again? Because I was
I'm confused.
Here, I'll read it. SPS, are they Stream Punk Sports? There we go.
Are there
any young guys at defensive back that you might have to trade because of the signing with Asante Samuel Jr.? So do you guys think we might have to get rid of corners?
Yeah, I misread it, bro. My apologies.
All good. All good.
No, I honestly think, like I said, I think they have like 13 or 14 draft picks this year.
Mm-hmm.
You can afford to give 1 or 2 or 3, depending on the low or high end of the rounds. Like I give a 2/4 and a third for Asante Samuel Jr. And I mean, like that guy, he was a second round pick, I believe. Second round? Yeah, I think second round.
I think it was second. Yeah, right. I think you're right about that.
Here's the thing. This is how I remember. We had a live draft remote show with EOP at my local watering hole around the corner from my house. Shout out to South House. And that's the night that Asante Samuel Jr. got drafted. And I was like, no! I'm like, between that and me yelling for, Woolen from the Seattle
Tariq Woolen,
yeah. But those two corners, those broke my heart that we didn't get either. And like that'd be an interesting concept for me, is bringing Asante Samuel Jr. over and not being able to give up much. I mean, look, if you have to give up somebody, you might give up like a Ricks or like something to that level. I do not believe you're going to give up like a Keely Ringo, if that's what the question really is.
Well, I'll piggyback what you said about that too, because if it's Eli Ricks, I'm good with that. I mean, look, I'm not saying Eli Ricks was a bust, but overall, he's been disappointing. I mean, if you get Asante Samuel Jr. and you trade away like a third or fourth round pick, or maybe, and you get like Eli Ricks in the trade, I'm good with that. I mean, I don't want to say I'm done with Eli Ricks, but he has to show me something, or else it's like, your time is done here. I'm not saying I like Eli. I think he's a good player. I think he could be a very good player. Maybe if the time calls for it, depending on who if it's going to be either Keely Ringo or like I said, like we brought up with Asante Samuel Jr. But he hasn't shown me much of anything, gonna admit. I mean, I just don't want to sound like I'm being rude here, but it's like, your time is running out here, dude. You got to step it up here, man.
Yep. And Anthony comes in with 3 comments.
He's probably calling
He's got an issue with that.
He's probably calling me right now.
Yeah.
I'd like to file a complaint.
Why am I catching strays on
what seems to be the problem?
Yeah, so Anthony comes in and goes, what people forget about Jordan became an offensive tackle in the NFL. He was playing prop in rugby in Samoa. He also goes to position prop in rugby is similar to the running back or a receiver position in the NFL. The corner position is one of these positions that needs a ton of playing time. So I wouldn't say Elijah Ricks is a bust. He just never has gotten the necessary playing time to develop.
Yeah, and I'm with Anthony on this too, because I like Eli. I don't want to say he's a bust or anything, but it's like sometimes like you have to find out what your worth is. I mean, look, if he's gonna be on the secondary, I'm good with that. I'm not saying that I don't like Eli Ricks. I think he was a great player. I mean, look, Alabama has all great secondary back. I mean, they got a lot of good secondary. Obviously, before Quinyon Mitchell was drafted by the Eagles, I was thinking, okay, Terrion Owner could be a good fit here, and he was another good player that could have been a good fit here too. But overall, I mean, I know Eli Ricks has to find more, has to play more and more to find out what his development is. But overall, I mean, somehow in some way, I mean, I want to say he's a bust, but overall, I think it's just that sometimes like you have to find what you're made of too.
Well, let me ask you, Mitch. So to kind of put a bow on the Asante thing, so if the offer came down, they want Keely Ringo and Adoree Jackson and a 5th round pick. Are you pulling the trigger for Asante Samuel Jr.? You pulling the trigger on that?
Here's the thing: we just got Adoree Jackson Jr. and I'm kind of looking forward to him playing. And how old is Adoree Jackson, first of all?
30s. He's in his 30s.
Oh,
He's in his 30s, so he could be a mentor to the younger guys. So
that's what I was thinking.
This is exactly what we need for the cornerback room, especially since Slay is now gone. He went to Pittsburgh. Adios, Slay. Thank you for everything, but go to Pittsburgh, and now you got him and Rodgers there. Wow.
Dude, I was just thinking about that last night, too, man. I said to myself, every time when I say Aaron Rodgers with the Steelers, it's kind of like you are gagging in your mouth or something. It's like it doesn't even sound right. It's like Beetlejuice saying 3 times and then you get nauseous.
So Anthony has another question. He's actually a Dolphins fan. I'm asking these questions from a Dolphins fan's perspective. What would we have to give you guys for either Ringo or Eli? Because right now they missed out on a Jair Alexander. And they really need a corner there. So, what would you guys do? What would it take? What
would we want in exchange? I'd have to get back to you on that. I think I gotta get back to you too. Here's why: because I wouldn't want a player back, but I would want a player new. Meaning, I would want. We talked earlier about the
Jalen Waddle. Maybe Jalen Waddle?
Yeah, they're not giving up Jalen Waddle.
I don't know.
I would take Waddle.
Yeah.
I was going to say Tariq Hill, but Tariq Hill's having another Antonio Brown situation. I feel sorry for Dolphins fans that have to deal with that.
Oh, my God. Don't even get me started on this whole Tariq Hill thing.
Oh, I'm with you. I'm with you, pal.
Let me be clear, James. If the Dolphins general manager walked up to me and said, I will give you Jalen Waddle for Keely Ringo, Eli Ricks, and a 3rd round pick, I'd go,
doing that.
Where do I sign?
I'm doing that.
Wait, I think I got
a slot guy.
We do.
We need a slot guy.
We do. Let me ask you this too.
Off your hands.
Let me ask you this too.
Yeah.
What's our worth with Jahan Dotson at this point? You think he's gonna stick around, or you think he's done?
I honestly think that it's going to be. Again, and this is going to kind of infuriate some Eagles fans, but look, look at the totality of the offense. You can't if you're really going to get that upset over the third wide receiver. You got Dotson, you got
He's good.
Right. You got Aeneas Smith. They have brought in drafted a couple guys, both in the undrafted free agency and stuff like that. There's going to be competition. You got the guy, the 6'7" guy, whatever his name, Wilson or whatever, Johnny Wilson or whatever. Like you have these guys, and they're just guys, but you're going to have that third slot position is going to be a competition, an open competition. It's fine. Unless the Dolphins want to be stupid and give us Jalen Waddle. By all means, because you want to talk about what this offense looks like now, you put Jalen Waddle on this offense without giving much up as far as offensive weapons. That's just disgusting. Like, just you broke the system. You broke the game. Like, it's like playing Madden and making that happen. You broke the game.
Anthony checks it again. He says, how about 1-for-1, Tyreek for Ringo or Eli? I think I'll pass on that one, man.
We're good, thank you.
I think we're good, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Thanks for chiming in, man. Appreciate it.
No, you know what? For Eli, I would do it.
Really?
You know why?
Why?
Because Tyreek Hill, even if he's a head case, look, Antonio Brown was a head case. But
he was good in his prime, though.
Right. And like when he was, even towards the end of his prime, when he was with Brady, he was still really good. He just lost his ever-loving mind. But if we could get Tyreek Hill to Philadelphia for Eli Ricks, first off, I don't know if you could because of the salary that Tyreek Hill is making.
Sure, yeah.
Number one. But number two, the idea, even if you were able to, I would deal with the headache for Tyreek Hill because of the skill set that Tyreek Hill brings to the table.
I don't know, man. I look. I mean, he's a good player. I think he's a very. I mean, once he's effective, he's effective in every which way.
We'll have the next Terrell Owens doing sit-ups in the driveway. You know,
I met T.O. back like 20 years ago, and on the same day he got suspended. That's an actual true story, Mitch.
I'm saying, though, we can have that again, fellas. We want that. It'll give us something to talk about.
So I mean, Michael Vick comes into a situation too after he tried to get a second chance, and I'll tell you right now, after that happened, man, I thought I was done with the Eagles, man. After that happened, not the T.O. situation, the Michael Vick situation. I don't want the headache. I don't want the headache, honestly. I mean, I want to ruin your party, Joe. I mean, look, you make a good argument. I'm with you, Joe. I mean, he would be effective when he's effective, but I don't need the headache. I just don't need the headache.
You could tell that Dolphins fan wants to cut bait as fast.
He really does. You
can tell he wants to cut bait with Tyreek Hill in the worst kind of way.
He's trying to sell.
Actually, we have a Dolphins guy in the Hardcore Sports Network. Big C, the Finn Posse podcast, and he just had enough with his team, man. He had enough with this team. He's so mad.
Well, you know,
Alexander.
Well, you know, if I mean, you know what, this might sound a little asinine and far-fetched here, but we couldn't get to it. We can always get to it. We can get to it.
No.
I know. I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing. God forbid. Oh my God.
Listen.
Can you imagine Tua actually coming here?
Yeah,
and as a backup.
Oh my God! Right? Right.
Jalen Hurts who was his backup.
Oh my God!
Thanks on the Ramsey. Ramsey's a no.
Well, what about Cameron? What was the other guy? Cameron. What's his name? Cameron. Oh, there he is.
It's Scott. Hey,
Scotty.
Scott, Tyreek has so much off the field issues as he does on the on-field talent. You have to think of chemistry. Not worth it for the Eagles, in my opinion. You know what is worth it? Saquon Barkley, Adoree Jackson, and Gizo Delari. They're all worth it. Thank you, Scott.
Yeah,
Jalen would have flashbacks.
That's what I'm saying. No.
let's
No.
get on to the next topic.
Yeah, we
and
should
it's
we should definitely
actually
get to the next topic before we
Lane,
blow our
Lane
gaskets.
Johnson.
Yeah, there we
Lane
go.
Johnson, because there was an offensive line expert that says Lane Johnson is the best right tackle of all time. Of all time.
Wow.
And I'm like, you could really make a case for that. Except for when he's injured. Remember when he's injured and he's out? The whole team kaplunks. The whole team just goes into Sixers territory. So I'm just saying, like, and what do you have to say about that, James? Lane Johnson.
What was the question? I'm still thinking about Jalen
Lane
being.
Johnson, offensive line expert says Lane Johnson is the best right tackle of all time.
I would say so. I mean, I guess I would say so because I don't know much about what the best right tackle has been in a long time. I don't know if Terrell LeBron was
Pace is up there. I agree with you.
Or Cameron Wake. I don't know if they still have Cameron Wake.
I'm gonna look up actually the best offensive right. Best of right
might be John. I mean, with the Eagles, I think it was like either him and John Runyon, right? I think it might have been John Runyon, right?
Trey Thomas and
Trey Thomas. That's right. Yeah.
So, wait, right tackle? No, I gotta search offensive line, not because it was giving me Aaron Donald. I'm like, no,
yeah, that's not right.
Yeah. Damn AI.
No, Orlando.
I'm not even on AI. I'm on Google.
Oh,
Orlando Pace, idea for that. The other part of it is that, like, someone like Joe Thomas, the old Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
He's another one.
Alejandro Villanueva from the Steelers back in the day, but he was on for. I mean, not Joe Thomas territory, but that's who I'm thinking of.
There was.
All right, so
shoot, I don't know.
I got a list right here. So, Anthony Menunez, Walter Jones, Forrest Gregg. That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Walter Jones is a quality. Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Jim Parker, Jonathan Ogden.
Oh yeah,
that's good.
Yep.
Ron Yeri, Dan Deerdorf.
Dan Deerdorf was also good too. Yeah,
Gary Zimmerman, Rayfield Wright, Art Seal, Jackie Slater. Is he related to AC Slater? I just had to throw that in there. Joe Thomas, Orlando Pace, Trent Williams, and Willie Wolf.
That's the guy I was thinking of. That was a Cowboy, Trent Williams.
Yeah,
that's who it was. That he gave us nightmares when he was with the Cowboys. But
wait, I thought it was with Washington. I thought it was with Washington.
I'm sorry, Washington. You're right.
That's right. No, you're thinking of Tyron Smith or the other guy.
I'm thinking about the guy that was the tackle for the Cowboys in the 90s.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
But here's my thing. So Lane Johnson, the best right tackle of all time.
Yeah.
That's tough because they're like, don't get me wrong. Lane is probably one of the best right tackles in Philadelphia history all time. But in NFL history, I don't know if I'd go that far. I would go
if he wins one more Super Bowl, do you put him in that conversation then?
Yeah, maybe. Definitely.
Yeah, because now he's the only two-time Super Bowl champion currently still on the Philadelphia Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So, that's something. And the idea that there was really only two two-time Super Bowl champions in Philadelphia Eagles history, and that's Brandon Graham and Lane Johnson.
Yeah.
So,
that's true.
I mean, yeah, you have the special teams guys, and I get all that, Elliott and all that. I'm talking about like real players. We don't count kickers on this show. Anyhow, but so
where did that come from?
Yeah, just the way I feel.
Kickers are not essential, Joe.
No, they're not essential personnel.
I don't know, man.
Randall Cunningham proved that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So here's
that's what I was thinking with John Runyon too.
Here's my follow-up question: where do you put Lane Johnson in the top 5 for Philadelphia Eagles in all-time Philadelphia Eagles. That's really where I think it kind of comes down to, because the line has been the cornerstone of this team for probably the better part of 2 decades, maybe even longer.
I'm actually glad you mentioned that, because it's going to go right to the next topic. Okay. 5 Eagles make the cut and land on ESPN's NFL All-Quarter Century team, and they are the 5. You guys want to guess? Because I think they're kind of easy.
Yeah, I think it's probably Jalen. Well, not J. Well, maybe Jalen.
No.
Nope. Okay, so it's strike 1.
Dawkins is 1.
Yeah, definitely.
Jason Kelsey is 2. Lane Johnson 3.
Yep.
Terrell Owens 4. This one is questionable, but I can understand it. Julio Jones. What? That's questionable, but I can understand it.
Wait, whoa, hang on. Time out. Julio Jones?
I can't understand that, because
I can understand the Falcons when he's with the Falcons.
That's why. It was just collective as the entire quarter century. It doesn't matter how long. It was just collective.
So, okay.
Julio Jones.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
So those are the 5. So that's why I brought up Lane Johnson.
That makes more sense for Terrell Owens, too.
Yep.
Terrell, like, when you said Terrell, I'm like, he only played 1 year here. I'm like, you can't call him a great Eagle. And
it was like all around, like his career all around. Yeah, that's right. That makes sense. That's fair.
So the fact that Lane's not on there,
no, he is.
Oh, he is on there. No, he is on there.
He is. Here, I'll read it again. Brian Dawkins, Jason Kelsey, Lane Johnson, Terrell Owens, and Julio Jones.
Okay, so I agree with that.
I'm with you.
Now, the question you have to ask yourself is, why not Jason Peters? Jason Peters was the bodyguard for a long time.
I can find this. I'm going to find this website again. Give me a sec.
Because
Saquon should be on that list too, should he not?
Well, Deshaun Jackson should.
Deshaun. Maybe Jeremy Maclin.
I would put Deshaun over Maclin only because Deshaun had the most yards in a season 2 or 3 years
NFL
as an Eagle.
Yeah, it's true.
All quarter century team. Okay. Let me share the screen. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Let me share the screen here.
So this is from 2000 to 2025. Kind of what they did with the Phillies.
Yeah. A quarter century. Yep.
Gotcha.
Oh wait, I hit the wrong thing. Boom.
Hello.
Yeah, I hit the wrong thing there. Let me go here. There we go. That's better. Hey. There we go. That's much better.
Hey, there we go.
Okay. So Brady. Let me go up real quick. So it's the NFL All-Quarter Century team, best 53-man roster and coaches. So it's going to scroll down here. For the quarterbacks, there are 3.
Okay,
Brady, obviously.
Andy Reid. Well, it's either Andy Reid or Belichick for the coach.
Yeah.
I think that's all the way down at the bottom. So we're going to have to get through.
We'll wait.
So Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. I was, maybe we should. Yeah, you know what? That's a good list. I was going to say Drew Brees.
I'm going to keep Mahomes there.
I'll keep Mahomes there, too.
Here's the question, though.
Yeah.
Who's the better Manning, Eli or Peyton? They both have 2 Super Bowls.
Peyton.
Okay.
Right. I will always go Peyton.
Okay.
No disrespect. He shouldn't be Hall of Fame material either. Is Peyton.
So, Eli, running backs: Priest Holmes.
Wow, I forgot about Priest Holmes.
Christian McCaffrey and Derrick Henry.
McCaffrey. I don't know, man.
McCaffrey's questionable
because of injuries.
Yeah.
How do you not put Peterson on there? How do you not put Adrian Peterson on there?
You should put AP on there.
Because his off-field stuff, I guess.
Yeah, by the way, speaking of Adrian Peterson, did you by any chance see that video that he had? Like, he lost a poker game and he actually got into a fight?
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
That's why.
Well, yeah, and he was undisciplined with his undisciplined
Wait,
too.
it's a practice squad guy, LaDainian Tomlinson? Okay, so he made the practice
I
squad.
put
on
LT
this
on that list actually. I thought LT was really
I guess
good.
that's like an honorable mention.
Wait. LT makes the practice squad, but Derrick Henry makes the regular squad. LT
Or
Yeah,
Christian
apparently.
McCaffrey does.
Yeah,
Come on,
exactly. I'm like,
Yeah,
LT's
really.
got more yards and touchdowns than both of those. Okay,
So-
go ahead.
I mean, seriously.
Fullback.
Kyle
Fullback,
Juszczyk.
Kyle Juszczyk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wide
Yeah.
receivers. We got 6 wide receivers here.
Hmm.
Randy Moss,
Yeah,
Calvin Johnson,
yeah.
Megatron.
Julio
Julio.
Jones,
T.O.
Terrell Owens, Marvin Harrison,
I like
and
Marvin.
Justin Jefferson.
Justin. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. That I gotta admit, Justin Jefferson's pretty good. I gotta admit.
Yeah.
Okay, but do you put him over Chad Ochocinco? Do you put him
Ooh.
over Tyreek Hill at his prime? Do you put him over? There's a lot of. I mean, yeah, Justin Jefferson's good, but like, I'm not.
That's a
sold.
good question.
I mean, there's a lot. 25 years. That's a long time. There's a lot of good receivers then.
And then practice squad players, Antonio Brown and Andre Johnson.
Yeah.
Andre Johnson was good. I like that.
Yeah. So the tight ends, there's 3 of them. Gronk, Travis Kelce, and Tony Gonzalez. And the
Yeah.
practice squad is Antonio
all
Gates.
accurate.
That's all accurate.
all
I would put Zach Ertz as on the practice squad. Antonio Gates. I would put Zach Ertz on that list too.
So for the left tackles, there's only 2, Joe Thomas and Trent Williams, practice squad. Walter Jones, Jordan Mailata.
Wow, a lot of me.
Hey, practice squad. I'll take
That's
it.
another Eagle. That's another Eagle.
Damn right.
I'll take. All right, left guards, Alan Faneka.
Faneka.
Faneka, thank you. Steve
I think it's
Hutchinson.
Faneka. Steve
And centers, only one center,
Jason
Kelce.
Kelce.
Boom.
Goddamn
Can there
right.
only be one? Yes, there can.
Right
Zach
guards,
Martin, who was thinking of.
Zach Martin and Marshall Yonda.
Okay.
Now we're in the right tackles. Lane Johnson and Willie Anderson. Let's see. Edge rushers. Oh, this is going to be good.
Yeah.
DeMarcus Ware,
Yep.
Jared Allen,
Yeah.
Myles
Allen's
Garrett. So apparently you can beat a guy with the helmet and make this list.
What was it?
Okay. Myles Garrett.
Oh, yeah.
And Julius Peppers.
Accurate.
I like Julius.
Julius
And the
was good.
practice squad. TJ Watt and Michael Strahan.
Yeah, that's accurate. I mean, JJ Watt I would put in there, but his injuries came back. I mean, it was probably a defensive tackle more than
Okay,
defensive end.
I got an accept. Well, was that just the one end? I'll wait for the other end.
Yeah. Defensive tackles. We got Aaron Donald, Calais Campbell,
Calais Campbell.
Chris Jones, and practice squad. Kevin Williams and Cameron Hayward. Nose tackles. Vince Wilfork. Makes sense.
Yep.
Oh, here we go.
Versatile defensive lineman. JJ Watt. And that's it. There's
Okay.
no other. So
I
that's
got
it.
it. I got an issue with that.
What's
okay.
that?
What the hell? Where's Javon Curse? Like,
Good
the
point.
guy was nicknamed the
Freak.
Freak for a reason. He's the one who innovated the speed rush versus the bull rush. Okay, go ahead.
All right. Linebackers. Ray Lewis.
Of course.
Bobby Wagner.
Figured.
Yeah.
Brian Urlacher.
Yep.
Levante David.
Yeah.
Luke Kuechly. Yes. Thank you. Yes.
What
Derek
about
Brooks in
Brian
practice
Cushion?
squad.
What about Brian Cushion? Do you think Brian Cushion should be in there?
I can call him at the practice
Semi.
squad. Practice squad. Derek Brooks is there. Oh,
Yeah, Derek
dude.
Brooks. Oh God, he was such a headache when he was at Tampa Bay Park. Oh, my God.
Cornerbacks. Darrell Revis. Champ Bailey.
Yep.
Rondé Barber. hate Rondé Barber.
Rondé.
I'm always going to hate Rondé. My God.
Rondé Barber with
Richard
an A.
Sherman. That makes sense. Patrick Peterson. And practice squad. Anthony. Jalen Ramsey. There you go. Now you can stop offering him to us.
Well,
there you go.
What real quickly here before we get to the safeties, the fullback situation. There should be two of them. It should be Kyle Juszczyk and Mike Eslott.
Oh, I forgot about him.
Eslott was good, man.
Yeah,
he was a good player.
I am bamboozled by this corner list. But go ahead.
Continue.
The Jalen Ramsey, he doesn't belong on our practice squad. He belongs on the water squad. Like
we decided one's a good one though.
Go ahead.
All right, safeties. We got Ed Reed.
Please be dog.
Yes.
Please be dog. Please be dog.
Troy Polamalu.
Uh-huh.
Brian Dawkins. And Earl Thomas III.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I have a question. Charles Woodson is the practice squad, but what is his name? Oh my God, Troy Polamalu. That's one. My God, I forgot the other guy's name.
Ed Reed. Ed Reed it out.
Ed Reed is already on it. Champ Bailey. No.
Champ Bailey should be on there too, man.
Champ Bailey's not even on the cornerback.
Seriously?
No.
Wow.
I'm trying to think. Maybe he made the practice squad.
I would think so. Let's see. It was Richard Sherman.
No Champ Bailey there.
Damn, that's crazy.
That was it. John Lynch is not even on this.
John Lynch, yeah.
There's Corey Polamalu. Okay. He deserves it with that full head of hair.
Full head of
Kickers.
hair.
Justin Tucker.
Yeah.
And then punter, Shane Leckler.
Leckler was good. I like
Return
Leckler.
specialist.
Devin Hester, no question.
No question. I would just.
Well.
Cordell
Okay,
Patterson is
Cordell
on
Patterson, yeah.
See, I would go without
Darren
Cordell
Sproles.
Without Cordell Patterson, I would go Dante Hall. Dante Hall was
Matthew Slater for special teamers.
I'm surprised Sproles is not on this list for special
There's a
teams.
lot.
Snappers. Morgan Cox. So you've got to put someone with Cox in the name.
That's got a joke written in it all day long.
Yep.
He's a long snapper with the last name Cox. I mean, the joke writes itself.
Long Cox.
Oh my God. All right, coaching staff. Here we go.
John Dornbush should be too.
Bill Belichick.
Of course.
Kyle Shanahan, offensive coordinator.
Kyle Shanahan.
Wade
Mike
Phillips
should
for
be
defensive. Wade Phillips for defensive coordinator.
Fair.
David Tube, special teams coordinator. Whoop-de-doo. And that's it.
That's about it.
That's it.
Wait. Foul on the play. What the hell? You don't have Andy Reid on this list? How in the hell do you not have Andy Reid on this list? What kind of indictment? What the hell? Okay, here's another thing. All right, you put Kyle Shanahan on this list over, I don't know, Mike Shanahan, his father? Or, I don't know, Marty Schottenheimer? Or
Don Shula?
Well, no, he's earlier.
Oh, defense. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right.
I'm just like John Harbaugh. Like, what the?
John Harbaugh should be a coach too. I mean, he was not good on. I mean, special teams wise.
I love how your dad changes typing in caps. He goes, "Oh, Andy Reid, who made this list?"
Like, what in the living hell? Like,
that's a violation, dude. That's a big violation.
Okay, now I have to question this list.
I got it. Aaron Seth and Seth Walder. There you go. So be mad at them, not me.
Oh, I'm not mad at you. I'm just thinking those two need to, get out of the basement every once in a while. But it's okay.
That I mean, like I said, there's a couple of players on there that could have. I mean, Cam Chancellor is a good example of that. There's another one
by AI.
What's this done by?
Who? Allen Iverson?
Yeah, right.
That's the only thing I think of.
Yeah,
but
Talking
no
about
Cam
lists,
Chancellor,
not accolades.
Derek
Yeah,
Brooks
Derek Brooks should be. Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
David comes in and
John
goes, we
Lynch,
don't need
Gene
Asante Trey Jr.
Where's
Okay.
Asante Samuel?
Right.
Right?
Well,
Right?
No.
son.
Oh,
Where-
no,
where the
no.
hell is he?
Akeem Talib. Where's Akeem Talib at? He was that good, too.
What about Von Miller?
ChatGPT made the list.
ChatGPT.
Did Aaron Donald make the list?
No, surprisingly, no. I didn't see that either.
No, let me go back and check. I still got it.
I think he did, if I'm not mistaken. I can't
think he
remember.
did. Let me scroll.
Yeah, I
Where
wouldn't
am I?
know.
Right guards, edge rushers, right tackles, edge rushers. I don't want edge. Defense. Aaron Donald is the first one.
Okay.
There we go.
Then you got
sense.
Calais Campbell, Chris Jones, and then for the practice squad, Kevin Williams and Cameron Hayward.
Well, do you think we should put Michael Bennett on that list? Because I know I'm straddling the fence here, or the other guy, that played with Gerald McCoy. Do you think Gerald McCoy should be on that list?
I can understand that.
What about
Wait.
What?
Where's Von Miller?
That's what
Von
I
Miller
said.
should be on that list.
What about Warren Sapp?
Yeah, right.
Uh,
Man, whoever put this list together, in the words of Don Herrera, who died to put you, boss?
guys, I'm going to clip this whole thing, make it a video, and you guys can put your frustrations there in the comment section.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do that this
the
weekend.
chats are up to the comments up to 72. It's like a phone. It's like phone calls waiting to happen.
I'm surprised they didn't have Jason Taylor.
That's true. Jason Taylor was good,
What
and
about
there was
Sean
another
Taylor?
one.
Sean Taylor.
Sean Taylor. Yep. Sam Mills. Actually, no. Sam Mills was 90s. Sorry.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're gonna end it here. This will be the last question here for you guys. Do you take Dan Marino's title as a Hall of Famer away and not put him on the list for greatest quarterbacks of all time because he didn't win a Super Bowl? No, he's still one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Still one of the best. I have a buddy of mine named his dog after Marino. So
He's on
Oh, really?
my top,
That's kind of cool. I like that.
yeah.
he's on my top 25. I wouldn't say he's in my top 10, but he's in my top 25.
Yeah.
Because winning does matter. Winning does matter.
You know, the thing about it too, the thing I like about Dan Marino too was like his accuracy was so great. I mean, him not winning a Super Bowl. I mean, it's a shame. He was a great quarterback, but he never reached it. I mean, he's a great quarterback. He's probably one of the greatest to probably ever do it. But
There's two that stick out to me that never got the ring, and that's Dan Marino and Jim Kelly. They both
that's true.
stand out to me as guys that, you know, were great quarterbacks. They just never got the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Let's
and also we can also say laces out if anybody doesn't know. Ace
Ah,
Ventura.
I love that. That's great. All right, guys, we're gonna head on out, but really quick, my favorite segment: 3 words or less about the quarter century team. What do you guys have to say? 3 words or less about the quarter century team.
I'll let you go. I'll let you go, Joe.
Yeah, Joe, you go first, and then I'll go last.
It's 4 words, but well, actually, I can make it 3. Where is Andy?
Could have been done better. Could have been done better.
You know what they need? They need a boot. It just write Andy on it.
Could have done better, guy. Could have been better.
Dude that made this list needs to stop eating his nuggies. That's what needs to happen right now.
All right, so for me, fly you will fly because we have 6 in them.
Bad list. My dad breaks up. What's that?
We have 5 players and then 1 on the practice squad. So fly you will fly.
There we go. Go Birds.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Bad list. Hey,
my dad says bad list with exclamation points.
I'll send everybody on Facebook this list, and then you guys should go rant about it and whatever.
Yep.
All right. Make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell right here on Steampunk Sports PA. We just hit 80 subscribers on the channel. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys. 20 more to 100. Let's get it. So,
million to 1, Doc. Million to 1.
Yep.
Yeah, man. We're gonna head on out, and we'll see you guys next Friday at 8. Not 8. My God, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace, guys. Have a good one.
Peace.